Okay, I gotta be careful. There's microphone. Good morning. Ahoy. That's about the limit of my Slovak, so I apologize, even though with my last name, my heritage happens to be Slovak. My great-grandparents are from this general region, so they were part of that movement, that large movement to Ohio and Pennsylvania. But I'm very happy to be back, and I won't take too much time. I have good news for my young guests in the back. Only half of this presentation is going to be in English. We're going to switch to Slovak, so it's going to get much better. As I was introduced, I teach at Virginia Tech at the School of Public and International Affairs, and I'm very happy to be representing that university today. I teach about urban futures, which is kind of an interesting, cool topic. I'm not a very technological person. If I get through these slides without a disaster, we're going to be all right. But my background is in urban planning and cultural studies. And I think I understood the question about your experience, and I can kind of see your experience with the secondhand economy, as I like to call it. I personally am wearing one item that's secondhand. It's also a little bit older. I'm also wearing an item that's at least a decade old that's been repaired once. And I think I saw in the audience that there was some interest in this sort of world. Like that, there was a show of hands that there was some secondhand. Hopefully, this is something that where the rules or the ideas about who can wear secondhand, what belongs in this world are changing as technology is changing. I am inspired by what I heard as an audience member last year here. This is only my second time to Košice, and I want to take a moment and really thank the organizers and all the staff working at SlovakiaTech. This gathering is really putting this entire region on the radar of many people, including myself. If it wasn't for the outreach of SlovakiaTech in spaces like LinkedIn, I wouldn't have known about the conference. I wouldn't be thinking differently, and it would have been my loss, because I find this region very interesting, and it's something that I'm trying to hopefully not make this presentation, any of my time here, disposable. I hope that we can build relationships through gatherings like this. What's sort of interesting, like from my perspective, I'm limited. Like I've only had 4 days in Košice, right? I'm trying to find out everything that I can about this region online. And like a good student, I'm going to ChatGPT and I'm asking, hey, ChatGPT, what does the future of Košice look like? I guess so, maybe, right? But I don't think so. I don't think this is grounded in the reality of what's here. And that's kind of a message for students too. You can't be over-reliant. You have to have a critical mind for any of the technology that's presented to you in spaces like this. It's important to remember too that really any object that we're presented with will eventually be trash. Or at least to someone. At some point, it'll no longer be wanted. And I don't know who in the room might be brave enough to go have that conversation with Sophia, but you might want to go out and just have that thought. It's just, that idea is in mind, that trash that equals every object plus time. That's coming from this whole world of trash scholarship, actual garbology, if you would. And just to kind of show you where I'm reading from, there's some really interesting scholarship in this whole world of thinking about materials. By any chance, was anyone out there in the audience part of the archaeology discussion yesterday? Just by show of hands. Okay, that's a really interesting one to go back to and listen to online, because it's really important to think about our material history. It's also a really good time to be pulling from the past. I put up a book that references Herman Melville and Lewis Mumford. These are two people that were writing at moments of extraordinary change, And as we find ourselves in, it's important to remember that this is not the only moment of change, of where it feels like we're in a high rate of change. The next couple of slides are just some trends that I'm following, and they might be shaped by the things that I'm interested in, but it's also part of my work teaching about urban futures is I volunteer with the American Planning Association, and I help with their trend scouting. Not all of these will resonate potentially with Košice, but it's where Anna's work becomes really interesting. And I'm going to move us there quickly so that we can get into the Slovak point of the presentation. The headline came from this year. Are we in a golden age of secondhand shopping? I personally kind of think we are, right? Like I'm seeing headlines in the Wall Street Journal, which is not considered a very progressive publication. It's talking about this movement towards more face-to-face secondhand, lots of new online offerings. It could just be me, but I'm inundated with memes related to this idea of, in English, that we would call thrifting, which is going to not the boutique, but the really nitty-gritty charity shops. Like I went to one in Košice the other day. It's really this idea that we might want to do this for thrift to actually save money, but we also might be thinking environmentally about why we're doing these things, or just being concerned about where we're purchasing from, what we are supporting with our purchases. I personally like this idea too. I'm seeing a lot of short-form video related to what I'm calling the repair sphere. As it's kind of a positive take on what seems to be happening, where I'm getting lots of short videos that are showing not just men, but a lot of guys, bros, that are involved in doing things like fixing things that they find, picking up things that other people discard, cleaning up areas. Like if Košice needs a project, I bet some of you all could go out and fix that basketball hoop like tomorrow, make a video about it. Some of it is for monetization, but some of it is just to really help to kind of do charity and spread the word about what can be done. This I experienced last year leading some students from Miami around Europe, that there is more tourism that's based around secondhand shopping. Like people might not necessarily go just for the secondhand shopping, but they make it a part of it. I took a group of students. We were in Salzburg. We had about an hour of free time in the old city. We said, okay, go do what you want. We split up. Students headed back across the bridge out of Old Town and went to all the secondhand stores. They came back with like 1990s leather jackets, handfuls of CDs. It's what they wanted to spend their money on. And it's, taste change. There's also this increase in repair that's actually part of the retail environment. You see shops like Patagonia or Levi's offering repair or customization. In fact, I'm in search of repair, so if you can help me out later, I need to fix the zipper on a backpack that I love. But it's becoming more and more part of sort of the higher end, but also this return to traditional practices. And before I hand it over to Anna, I just wanted to say I'm speaking with students in Miami, Virginia Tech, where I teach, Texas, and the Netherlands, and I'm hearing lots of stories. But to yield time to Anna, I'm going to pass it over to her now. And if you want to follow up with anything that I've shared, I will be outside. At the secondhand shop, I bought a bit of community building technology. At lunchtime, I'm going to be playing Frisbee. I'm not particularly good at Frisbee, but if you want to have a conversation, pass it around a little bit, I'd love to see you. But thank you very much for your time. Sorry.
Thank you, Mark. Ahojte, tak ja prepnem do slovenčiny. Mark si to tak prial, takže nebude nič rozumieť, takže môžeme sa rozprávať o hocičom. Moje meno je Anna, som aktuálne doktorantkou na ekonomickej fakulte na TUKE u nás a už niekoľko rokov sa venujem téme cirkulárnej ekonomiky a o tom, ako vlastne môžeme fungovať udržateľnejšie. Privedol ma k tomu osobný záujem. Mala som pocit, že proste chcem niečo urobiť preto, aby tento svet bol udržateľnejší. Ale zisťovala som teda, že aké máme možnosti v Košiciach. Tak ako Mark hovoril, nie je to len o oblečení, na to máme veľa rôznych možností, ako v secondhande nakupovať. Ale zaujímalo ma, čo všetko môžeme v Košiciach robiť. Tak som sa tomu venovala v rámci diplomovej práce. A toto je práca Inštitútu cirkulárnej ekonomiky, ktorá vlastne mapuje rôzne mesta na Slovensku a mapuje rôzne možnosti, ako človek môže zaobstarať si veci udržateľnejšie. Čiže máme tam aj zero waste obchody, second handy, opravné miesta, nejaké krajčírstva a podobne. Ale keď som sa na to tak pozrela, tak nebolo tam nič také prekvapivé alebo niečo také inovatívne. Máme rôzne možnosti a väčšina sa týka teda obchodov s oblečením. Ale robila som si teda prieskum v rámci Košíc, koľko ľudí má skúsenosť nakupovania zo secondhandov a aké typy vecí nakupujú zo secondhandov. A ako vidíme, tým, že som výskumnička, neodpustila som si pár grafov, takže prepáčte za takéto suché slajdy. Ale teda väčšina ľudí nakupuje oblečenie z druhej ruky. Máme to už aj online veľmi dobre rozbehnuté. Ale ako vidíme, niektoré veci, ktoré sú možno ťažšie na nakúpenie alebo na predaj, tak zatiaľ ľudia nenakupujú online, teda second handoch. A to sú hlavne veci z domácnosti. No, ale zaujímalo ma aj to, ako sa zbavujú ľudia veci, pretože to je druhá stránka mince. Nechceme len nakupovať, ale každý máme nejaké veci, ktoré raz nepotrebujeme a potrebujeme ich posunúť ďalej. Tu som zistila, že vyše 90% ľudí v Košiciach nejakým spôsobom darovalo veci za posledný rok. No a tento farebný graf ukazuje to, že čo najčastejšie ako predávame, čo najčastejšie darujeme, ale máme hlavne v Košiciach je taký špeciálny spôsob zbavovania sa veci a to nechať veci pri smetnej nádobe. Tak som to tam tiež uviedla a prišlo mi zaujímavé, že hlavne práve veci z domácnosti a nemám teraz asi laser, ale hlavne veci z domácnosti a dekorácie sú často vyhadzované alebo nechané pri koši. A je to vlastne vyše štvrtina ľudí odpovedala, že takto sa zbavuje týchto vecí. A prišlo mi to ľúto, že tie veci sú úplne použiteľné a takto končia. No a preto existuje taký koncept tzv. Reuse centier. Je to veľmi populárne, dá sa to porovnať s thrift shopmi v Amerike a podobne, ale v Európe je mnoho takých miest. Toto je z Bratislavy. Som tam aj ja na fotke, keď ma nájdete. A tam sa práve dajú darovať, ale aj kupovať veci z druhej ruky. Pretože človek ako nebude teraz riskovať svoj život preto, aby dal na bazoš inzerát, že potrebuje hrniec a niekto mu ho donesie, ale je tam veľa nebezpečia pri tom. A zároveň nemáme iné miesta, kde by sme tieto veci vedeli z druhej ruky nakupovať. Takže vlastne celý môj výskum bol aj o týchto reuse centrách. A vlastne by ma zaujímalo, že či viete o tomto koncepte a že či by ste vy boli ako keby ochotní používať takéto centra. Tak môžeme si dať iba takú malú rozcvičku, že skúste všetci zdvihnúť ruku, keď môžem. Iba tak. Teraz to nie je hlasovanie, ale všetci zdvihnite. A teraz ich držte. A dajte dole ruky tí, ktorí by ste vedeli si predstaviť používať také miesto. Dobre. Tí odvážni nechali ruky hore. Ďakujem za úprimnosť. Dobre, iba taký malý múdček. Ale teda na to som sa pýtala aj ľudí v Košiciach a vidíme, že väčšina ľudí si také niečo vie predstaviť, používať. Samozrejme je to ovplyvnené tým, že na dotazníky odpovedajú ľudia, ktorí majú záujem o takéto veci. Ale čo bolo zaujímavé zistenie pre mňa, je, že väčšina ľudí si vie predstaviť darovať veci, ale nie nakupovať. A tam sú práve také problémy, ako že sa boja nejaké kvality vecí alebo kvôli hygiene a podobne. Ja by som bola veľmi rada, keby ste potom zdieľali vaše perspektívy, keď budeme mať chvíľu času. A celá moja pointa, čo som chcela povedať, je, že sú miesta, ktoré existujú a ponúkajú takéto služby a nemusíte sa báť vlastne kvality veci. Jeden z príkladov je swapovací obchod, ktorý máme dokonca 2-krát v Košiciach a už na rôznych miestach na Slovensku a aj v Česku, kde vlastne viete priniesť oblečenie a viete si aj nakúpiť a vlastne máte za to, vlastne veciami, ktoré prinesiete, platíte za veci, ktoré si odnesiete, respektíve máte zľavu na nich. A vôbec to nevyzerá ako niečo, kde sa musíte hrabať a je to špinavé a máte zlý pocit. Takže vás pozývam tiež využívať takéto možnosti, ktoré máme. A hlavne pre študentov, tu mám také ponuky, ako sa, keď chcete vlastne v Košiciach niečo riešiť udržateľnejšie, tak práve otvárame tzv. Youth ESG Academy, kde budeme robiť lektorku a budeme sa práve rozprávať o týchto veciach, že čo môžeme urobiť okolo seba. Budete mať aj budget na nejaký projekt, takže srdečne pozývam. A dokonca máme teda aj spoluprácu s Klimaťa potrebuje. To je organizácia, ktorá sa venuje tiež téme klimatickej krízy a o tom, čo môžeme na lokálnej úrovni urobiť. A tak máme aj cyklokuchyňu, tu možno ste tu aj stretli niekoho. To je miesto, kde si viete dať opraviť bicykel napríklad. Čiže možnosti sú. Ešte by som na záver dodala, že nemyslím si, že cirkulárna ekonomika by nás spasila, pretože to už je posledný krok k tomu, aby sme vlastne niečo zachránili a udržali v obehu, ale myslím si, že by sme mali začať hlavne obmedzovať našu spotrebu a rozmyslieť si, že práve ako Mark hovoril, že veci, ktoré teraz sú trendy, tak o chvíľu už budú v koši. To sa týka technológií takisto. Neviem, či ešte niekto používa trebárs CD, DVD prehrávače. Máme plno CD-čiek, DVD-čiek, ale už si nemáme ich ani na čom pustiť. A takisto to bude so všetkými technológiami postupne. Alebo inými trendami, ako sú labubu napríklad, alebo akékoľvek iné trendy veci, ktoré sú populárne, ale musíme myslieť na to, že raz ich bude treba aj nejak zneškodniť a keby vás zaujímali viac tieto témy, pokojne sa mi ozvite. Ďakujem za pozornosť a vlastne je tu teraz priestor na otázky, alebo teda diskusiu. Budem veľmi rada, keď pozdieľate vaše názory. Ďakujem.
Thank you very much, Anna and Mark. And Mark, please do join Anna on stage because we have one question so far in Slido. And if you don't mind, I'll ask in English because, yes. So the clothes in stores, they are so cheap today that now sometimes it's really hard not to resist to keep buying new and new stuff. How do you motivate yourself to go secondhand?
Can I start?
Do you want to do this one?
Yeah, if it's okay. Thank you for the question. Shall I switch
You
to
can
Slovak?
stay in English so Mark can understand as well.
Oh, no, go for Slovak. It's all right.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can complement each other, you
Yeah.
know? It makes more sense. Please
okay,
remain in
okay.
English. We have translators, it's fine.
Okay. So for me, the motivation is not like I need new clothes, but like what do I actually need? And if the secondhand clothes are in good quality and the same quality, and I need them, that's like the motivation for me. But on the other hand, we have so many negatives about buying new clothes, which is fast fashion and ultra fast fashion, also super ultra fast fashion. We have so many names for it. Now factories are like producing tons of clothes per day. Like we can like provide clothing for 6 or 7 generations ahead if we stop producing clothes now.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's so much textile. Then also, if you donate your clothes, like nobody wants it anymore because there's so much in Africa as well. So if you donate your clothes, just think about it. That is not the solution. I mean, it's not the eco-friendly way to discard things which are useful in general is not very, eco-friendly. So yeah, that's for me the environmental reasons are, and also human. I mean, there are people who have to produce those things in terrible conditions. So yeah, that's also something like that.
Thank you, Anna. And maybe questions for you, Mark.
Sure.
Wouldn't sustainable economic models support these reuse centers? Broken
That's
House
your
in
question.
Zurich, in Switzerland, employs homeless people to clean and collect furniture in a 5-story garage.
Oh, wow. That's a tough question for me because I'm not familiar with that particular example, but Zurich does come up a lot in urban planning dialogue right now. This is a better question for Anna. Like
Anna,
Anna's,
please continue.
Sorry, thank you. actually there are sustainable economic models, but they require like a huge shift, and also in thinking and also in practice. There are, for example, the growth movement is like advocating for a change that we can't just grow sustainably. The economic growth in general is criticized very much, and there are alternatives. So let me put it like this. In the ideal world, reuse centers would not even be necessary, because people would not discard things which they use, because they would use them and just really discard them when they are not useful anymore. So
or get them repaired, right?
Yeah, or
get them repaired.
Exactly. So I think the future is that, for example, this kind of furniture store is like a transition to this kind of thinking. It's great that it happens. We are here now, and we have to work what we have. So it's perfect. But the goal is to, remove this thinking that we need still new things.
Thank you very much, Anna. So I'm now going back to the request of Mark. If you please know anyone who can repair your backpack, please contact Mark directly after the presentation. Thank you very much, Mark and Anna, for this wonderful presentation. Thank you. Great applause.